Hello, good evening. The leader of one of Britain's largest teaching unions is calling for sensitivity over claims of an Islamist plot to take control of schools in Birmingham. The NASUWT is in the city for its annual conference, with anger over changes to teachers' pay and conditions set to dominate the agenda. Our education correspondent Peter Bean sent this report.
It may be warm and sunny outside, but relations between teachers and the government have never been more frosty. Teachers from the West Midlands are being joined here by colleagues from around the country, and they're angry about a range of issues.
Very long hours, making sure that we have well-prepared material for our young people, and the demands of assessment mean that we are spending many hours marking into weekends and what people sometimes laughingly call our holidays.
The NASUWT are in Birmingham at a time when 25 city schools are under investigation. It follows allegations of a plot to replace staff and governors with Muslim hardliners. The union leadership say it's vital the case is handled sensitively.
Let's find out what the facts of the case are, rather than this very unhelpful speculation that actually is setting community against community.
The Department for Education rejects the union's suggestions that this is a profession in crisis. It says that their reforms are enabling effective teachers to get on and that more top graduates are entering the profession than ever before. Peter Bean, ITV News, Birmingham.
The son of a pensioner who was given a fatal overdose of diamorphine by an out-of-hours GP says European doctors should be included in plans to raise the education standard of overseas practitioners. David Gray, who was 70, died in 2008 after he was given 10 times his recommended dose by German-based GP Dr. Daniel Ubani. The General Medical Council says it's looking into whether the UK competency exam needs to be updated. But David Gray's son, Stuart, who lives in Worcestershire, is angry that the tests wouldn't apply to EU doctors.
They do have to be applied to EU doctors, otherwise you've got a two-tier system. It's a bit like roulette. Are you going to be seen by an overseas doctor who's had the exam or an EU doctor who hasn't, and in my father's case was killed by an incompetent one?
A cardiologist who was sacked after becoming a whistleblower has been cleared of any wrongdoing. Dr. Raj Mattu spoke out about 2 patients dying in overcrowded bays at the former Walsgrave Hospital in Coventry in 2001. University Hospital of Coventry and Warwickshire NHS Trust says it was disappointed by the tribunal's ruling and is considering an appeal. Police are continuing to question 6 people in connection with an acid attack on a young woman in the Black Country. The 19-year-old, who's been named locally as Vicky Horseman, suffered serious burns after what's believed to be high-strength cleaning fluid was thrown in her face as she opened the front door in Tividale on Tuesday afternoon. In sport, Warwickshire's Jonathan Trott is taking another break from cricket due to stress-related illness. The 32-year-old left the Ashes tour in November early with a similar illness. The batsman said it wasn't fair on his teammates or himself to continue playing while he's unable to function at 100%. Well, football now. Newly promoted Wolves could still win the championship after beating Rotherham 6-4 in a dramatic showdown at Molineux. Kick-off was delayed, meaning there was an agonising wait for fans at Brentford who needed Rotherham to get a point or less to gain promotion. Port Vale got a home win against MK Dons, and elsewhere it was disappointment for the rest of our teams. Coventry and Shrewsbury lost. Walsall could only manage a draw away at Carlisle. In the Championship, Derby have already confirmed their place in the top 6 without even kicking a ball after results went their way. They play tonight. Tomorrow, Leicester are at home to QPR and Birmingham are away at Nottingham Forest. One of the most important dates in the Christian calendar was celebrated today in the centre of Leicester. The Good Friday Passion Plays had to be scaled back this year due to spiralling costs. Today, several thousand people from all faiths gathered at Humberstone Gate to take part in the telling of the Good Friday story. Time now for the all-important bank holiday weekend weather forecast. Here's Amanda Houston.
A short break, whatever the weather. ITV Local Weather, sponsored by Centre Parks.
Hello and a very good evening to you. So the weather has been fairly decent for most of us today. However, it is gradually going downhill throughout the weekend. So on Saturday, it's mostly dry with bright or sunny spells, but potentially we could see some heavy rain arriving on Easter Sunday, and it's looking fairly unsettled for Bank Holiday Monday. So let's put the detail on that. We can see tomorrow it's largely dry and we've got hardly any wind, so a fairly decent day to come. But as I say, Sunday is one to watch. We've got an area of low pressure. It's going to feed in from the south, and that could potentially bring outbreaks of rain into southern areas on Sunday and into Monday. So for tonight, though, it is staying dry. We've got clear skies, and that's going to allow temperatures to fall close to freezing. So there will be a widespread grass frost tonight and some patchy air frost too. And that's going to take us into a very chilly start to the day tomorrow. But all in all, not looking too bad. Some lovely spells of sunshine around during the morning. Perhaps the cloud could be thick enough for the odd light shower for the afternoon. But for most of us, it's a fine and dry day. We've got light winds and a top temperature of 14 degrees. But as I say, one to watch on Sunday. We could see some outbreaks of heavy rain in places, and it's fairly unsettled on Bank Holiday Monday. Bye bye.
ITV Local Weather, sponsored by Centre Parks.
And you're up to date with ITV News and Weather. That's all for now. We'll be back at 5:35 tomorrow afternoon. Don't forget, though, in the meantime, you can log on to itv.com/central to catch up with the latest news and weather. We'll see you tomorrow. Till then, bye-bye.